presence. All right, it is Tuesday. It is 7 o'clock. It is time for the Life Radio Show. I'm your host, Don Smith. I was hoping that good heavy metal music could wake us up a little bit, because it's been a drowsy feeling day.
What heavy metal music?
About the Potter's Field. You didn't hear the Potter's? I guess it wasn't up loud enough. Oh, you slept through it. Sleeping through Potter's Field. I can't even say the name.
There we go.
I'm your host, Don Smith. This is the Life Radio Show. Sitting in the studio with me are the hosts of the Dayton Music Scene on what DATV. Channel is it? DATV. DATV. Yeah, why couldn't I think of that? Barry and Kathy Leggett.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And I pronounced that right.
Yes,
too.
You did.
Okay. I wanted to say legit. I don't know.
I've heard lots of them.
And also we have a shadow that's surprised he's going to be on a hot microphone. I don't think he was expecting that. Antonio is sitting in. Say hello, Antonio.
Woohoo!
Yeah, he's ready for radio. You can tell. It's good to be here. It's good to have
good to be here.
Good to have you guys back on.
It's great to be here. What's it been? It's been about a year, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's been a little while, because last summer I had a run where I was getting a bunch of people in the show that weren't comedians, and then I slacked off and I stopped doing that. So it's good to have non-comics back in again. I'm not sure how to act.
Because we're not funny at all.
I was pretty funny, I thought.
You were pretty funny
last
time.
But I'll be straight.
You were making some good jokes before the show, too.
I think maybe today.
They're mostly at Antonio's expense, but that's okay.
Poor Antonio.
This is the treatment that shadows get on my show. So, just so you know, I told you, I told you about the first guy that ever shadowed with me, and the person that was on the show that time that just could not stop dropping F-bombs. But of course, he later ended up being the GM of the station. So we have high hopes for you, Antonio.
GM in a year.
Right, there you go. That's no pressure at all. You're just going to be running the whole thing in a year, so you can do it. I have faith in you.
Thanks.
So what's been happening with the Dayton Music Scene, the show, and the Dayton Music Scene, the Dayton Music Scene?
There's a lot going on around here. There really are. I wish I had a count of an estimate of how many bands are in the Dayton area. There are so many bands, and it's so impossible to reach all of them. But we're doing our best to get out there and do things, and be out there in the field with the bands. One thing that's changed a lot, and I'll let Barry talk about that.
Told you you're going to have to carry us this time.
I guess.
Is a new host. There's a new host on our Dayton Music Scene live show.
Really?
Yes, we do that once a month. It's the second Saturday of each month. And we've gone live since I talked to you last, because it's a live show from 2 to 3.
Wow, that's what are the challenges of that?
You would think that it would be a lot more for us, a lot more challenges, but we ran it live before we went live. We played like it was live.
So you just recorded it, but you did kind of like,
Yeah, we played like it was live. So when it came time to go live, it really...
Right. It
didn't
was just
feel any
doing
different.
the same show.
Yeah, doing the same thing.
Understandable.
Yeah. So anyway, we have a new host. I was hosting hostess. I was hosting that for about, 2 years, about 2 years. And I originally didn't want to host it because we produced the show. And when you start getting into hosting and producing, you end up, one of them is going to suffer, and it ended up being the producing part because I was hosting. So I really...
Yeah, my production value on this show is terrible.
Thanks.
That's all.
Thanks a lot.
That's all I can do to host, and I'm bad at that. So
you are
just
not. You are not. So anyway, we decided that we were going to put a permanent host in for the live show on Saturdays once a month. And Barry will tell you who that is and what's going on with that.
Okay, she is an awesome lady. She's well known in the Dayton music scene. She runs Music Connection Dayton, and her name is Kimberly Weiss.
I believe I've heard the name before.
Yeah, she's awesome. She's also a singer in a band, Far From Eden. And she's brought so much knowledge to the show. She has the lingo. She has the personality.
She's not old.
She's not old.
Hey, you can be old and like good bands.
That's true. But, you know, she connects better. I believe our population that listens to us is like the 25-year-old to 32-year-old. So when you stick a 58-year-old on there, you don't get a lot of the same lingo and stuff. You don't,
Right.
you know, you're too far away from that generation. So she can really relate. Not that she's, you know, she's middle 30s probably, but she can really, really, she won't kick my butt for that because she looks great. Don't you, Kimberly? You look great. But anyway, she's really brought a different vibe to the show, which has been really good, really positive.
Awesome. Well, that's good to change that up every now and then.
Right. And then it frees me up to do the things that I want to do, which is producing.
Right.
So with Barry and I producing, and we added another producer to Dayton Music Scene. His name's Lowell Wagner, and he really is involved as we are in getting things going. But our goal now is to actually spread out in other ways. So one of them is that we're going to go to the Incarceration Music Festival, and that Incarceration Music
Plan
Festival,
works.
Right.
and to do a documentary of how that all has started out. And it's actually in
Mansfield State Reformatory up there.
Oh, okay.
It's in the prison, and they're going to be given, of course, there's no prisoners there, but they're going to be giving prison tours, and there's like 70 tattoo artists and
30 plus bands.
30 plus
Wow.
bands.
Three-day event.
It's a 3-day event. Camping is available, and it's going to be
like
crazy.
Woodstock in prison.
Yeah, yeah.
But this is like, you know, these are national bands. Bush, Fuel, who some of the other lady of something.
Black Label Society.
Okay.
Yeah,
Biggie.
so it's a pretty big deal. So we're going to do a documentary up there, and we've kind of wet our wings a little bit on doing that. We've gotten out a little bit and played around with that. So we're looking forward to doing a documentary on that because it's kind of unique, you know, a big event in an old prison, you know.
How long has that event been going on?
Well, you're going to have to watch the show to find that out.
Okay. So this whole interview is just a teaser for your
It is,
documentary.
absolutely.
I gotcha.
You got it.
Well, this whole radio show is just a teaser for my podcast. So
That's right. So great minds think alike,
exactly.
right?
Yeah, I'd tell you what the podcast is, but you got to listen. But no, that sounds like a lot of fun.
It is going to
get
be,
out
I
there
believe. Yeah.
that much going on and try to do a documentary.
Make
That'll
something out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be a blast.
Do a lot of filming, and then a lot of editing. So.
Yeah. I would say with that many bands, that much going on at that place, there will be hours upon hours upon hours of footage, and just the trick to that would be editing that down into something that's not 17 hours long.
Right.
Right. You got to get it down to a decent amount where,
Right.
where people will want to listen to
Right.
it. Otherwise, they're not going to care. You know.
Well, folks don't have the attention span we used to.
No, but the fun part, now
Especially
maybe
when you get
your
older.
age group doesn't have the attention span, but
I'm sorry, what?
excuse me. Anyway, I lost my train of thought. So, okay then.
Well, no, the generations. I think every generation loses some attention span.
It goes with the technology.
Yeah, with the technology and the change to all the different media, and now if it's not, now you're better off with a 30-second YouTube video.
Yes.
That'll get more across than.
Yeah, and we've talked about that, making our YouTube and Facebook shows shorter because no one's going to watch an hour show.
Yeah.
And that's something else that's news. We went to an hour.
Oh, we were a half an hour show. Now we're an hour show.
Oh, wow.
And we went from not being live to live. We've definitely expanded our crew because we've gotten bigger. And so it's going really well. It really is. We've got another trick up our sleeve that we've been kind of working on. You guys can give us some input and see what you think. Okay.
Okay.
Go ahead, Barry.
She's going to get
Again.
you talking.
We're thinking about launching. It'll be kind of like an MTV format kind of thing where local bands will submit videos to us. And what we'll do is we'll take 5 videos per month and we'll put them up on our page, and people will vote on those videos. Then once we have the voting all done, we'll do a show counting down those 5 videos, and it'll be on DATV also. So kind of a little, video countdown show.
Yeah, music video countdown. I think that'll be really cool. What do you think?
That'd be fun. Yeah.
I think bands will be really wanting to do that because, they're getting their music videos recognized out there.
Right.
It's just another piece of getting them out there, and that's what it's all about.
And there's no payola involved, so.
Yeah. That's always better.
Yeah.
And you don't have to. Do you guys, you produce that show, have you ever, sponsored a live concert? A band? Just out of curiosity.
Not sponsored one. We've worked at live concerts before,
Okay.
or shows around town. We did the Dayton Underground series last year, which Kimberly Weiss was part of.
We talked
that.
about that.
Mm-hmm. That was a year commitment for us on that.
How did that?
It went great. It was so great.
Yeah.
It really kept us on our toes too, because we were really still learning a lot. Of course, we'll always learn, but we were really still learning a lot, and that helped us tremendously because it was, I don't remember, every couple months, and then it got to every month.
Every month.
We were going and filming for the Dayton Underground series, and then the whole finale of the thing was at the end of the year, and so we went from January to December doing that. And that was awesome. And we missed it when it was done. It's like, where'd it go?
Yeah. What do we do now?
Yeah, we got to find something else to do. And so, but it went great. And Kimberly Weiss does a great job with that. She didn't do it this year. I hope she does consider doing it again in the future because I think the bands get really excited about it. They get involved and it's really, really good. You get to see a lot of different genres and talent.
And there's a lot of talent out there.
There is a ton.
I only know a handful because I don't get out to see a lot of shows.
Right.
And just with comedy. I don't even get out to see a lot of comedy shows, and I'm part owner of a club.
Yeah.
So, but usually when I'm there, I'm working at the bar.
And we do the same thing. We're like, let's go see a concert, but we're not going to film because we want to see the concert.
Right.
Because we want to enjoy it.
Yeah, you can't focus on, what you want to focus on just to watch it. As filming it, you've got so many other things going through your head. You don't even hear the music. You hear a little, but you're just in a different place.
Yeah.
So.
Even this past weekend, or not the past weekend, but the weekend, Donnie Baker. I was really looking forward to seeing Donnie Baker. Never really set foot in the showroom. I was out at the bar running back and forth because we about ran out of everything.
You probably didn't hear one joke.
I did not.
See? That's sad.
I heard some, because it was Donnie Baker and his band, the Pork Pistols.
Uh-huh.
So I heard one or two of the songs while they were warming up before the shows, and that's it.
Wow. That sounds familiar, though.
I think the funniest thing with me about that is my mom was going to one of the shows, and she wasn't familiar with Donnie Baker. So the whole time I'm listening to him warm up, and I'm thinking, yeah, this is not going to be my scene.
Better warn her.
Yeah. You don't have that red button there, huh?
No. That's the only time I went into this showroom, is I had to go check on her, make sure she was surviving.
Oh my gosh!
Because she just looked a little frightened. She's like, "I'm okay."
Now, do you get a lot of bands in there, or
not very often?
Yeah.
No. Usually, New Year's Eve we had Todd Yon and the Time Flyers in there, and Donnie Baker and the Pork Pistols. We really don't have a lot of bands in there, but every now and then, we get one.
Yeah. Well, you'll have to let us know when you get a band in there.
Yeah. I will.
I
will.
Yeah, for sure.
And we've kind of talked about that from time to time, and trying to get some live music in there every now and then, but we're not sure at a comedy venue how it would go over. Because with Todd Yon and Donnie Baker, those are comedians that have bands. So that's still, it's a crossover.
Right.
Yeah, there's still the humor there.
Right.
But I'm not sure how just regular live music would
menus.
fit there. Yeah.
getting the menus in there. They're goofy as can be.
Oh, that would work.
Yeah, something like that, acts like that, because they're comedy and music.
Yeah, what's his Todd the Fox? He's got a lot of humor in a lot of his songs as well. So.
Yes. See, so there's people around.
Yeah,
that's good.
One thing that I just now remembered that's new for us is we also air our show on the Miami Valley Cable Council. It's on Spectrum. It's channel 991, and it's the call signs are CATV, I do believe. But that's aired on Saturdays also with DATV. So we're the whole county.
Right.
8 counties. We're the whole region, our region. Going south and going north. So there is a lot of coverage that we get now, and that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, it's good to keep expanding that way.
Right. And we can continue to do that as far as we want to. And the thing that's really cool is that we can also, we got a really cool thing going on that we submitted for an award. And you can talk to him about that, honey. You know a lot about that, don't you?
No, I don't. Not really.
Yes, you do.
It's the Philo Awards.
The
Philo
Awards. It's through DATV.
Well, no, it's not. It's
not. It's bigger
festival.
than that. It's a film festival, and people from all over the region, and that's Michigan. You think Michigan,
Indiana,
and Ohio, and they submit into the Philo Awards, and if you get chosen,
it's for public access.
Yeah, it's for public access.
Oh, okay.
For public access shows, and
so we submitted one of our shows. Which was a wonderful quality show. It was probably the best show that we had all year, which really stinks for that year. It really stinks, and the reason it stinks is because for 2 years I have been hosting that show, okay? One time, this man has hosted the show.
And that's your best show.
And that's the best show. Not because of him. Don't you misunderstand me.
No, okay.
It was all because of
I wasn't going to...
He started the show out with...
Chuck Baby, 1, 2, 3.
Oh, okay.
I had to make sure the mics were working.
Well, yeah, you gotta check them.
It's really an awesome show. It was Crosley Court. I don't know if you know Crosley Court. Do you know
Not familiar.
Antonio?
Not familiar with the name.
No. Do you get out and listen to bands much, Antonio?
Not very much.
Yeah. Well, that's something maybe you can do in the future, huh? That'd be really
You're a
cool.
DJ and you don't go out and listen to bands?
Don't give him a hard time. He's all right. Be nice.
Well, he's a
shadowing.
New
DJ.
Yeah, he's shadowing.
He's a DJ shadow right now.
Okay.
Yeah. Lay off, honey.
Eventually he will step
Sorry.
into the light.
Sorry, Antonio.
But we got him to talk, didn't we?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yes, Antonio?
A lot of smiling and nodding over there.
There is a lot
Which
going
doesn't
on.
pick up well on the radio.
No, it doesn't.
But it makes us feel better.
It makes us laugh, and then people think we're stupid. So why don't you talk a little bit?
What makes you want to be a DJ?
Well, I enjoy music. I haven't really gotten, as you know, the chance to see live music and stuff like that a lot. Something I would like to do, but I just haven't had the chance yet. And I also enjoy working with sound and just, stuff in that field. I really enjoy.
Because you're also going to be helping out Patrick, our engineer, as well.
Yes.
So
I'll
he's
be
not
here.
just a DJ. He's going to be doing the engineering end of it and the more complicated stuff.
Right.
Because I walked into a big tech conversation between those two, and I was like, I'm out of here. I got scared.
It's too much
I had to
information.
run back out in the hallway.
No, Will Robinson. No. Well, that's
welcome aboard.
awesome.
Sorry to pick on you so much, but I have to.
So are you into the audio end of it? Is that what
Yes.
we're hearing?
Yeah, audio engineering is something that I really enjoy.
Yeah.
So I don't have, very many particular band preferences.
Mhm.
I just enjoy hearing audio-rich music. If that makes any sense.
Absolutely.
That's what I do. I'm an audio guy, so I know where you're
Yep.
coming from there.
Yeah, and it makes a huge difference. You guys can make or break the show. It's that simple. It makes a huge difference.
Yeah.
So good for you. If you ever want to stop by the studio when we're filming, feel free to do that. We'll show you. We'll show you some stuff. That'd be great.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite sayings about audio engineering is, you're doing a good job when everybody ignores you.
Right.
Yeah.
Kind of confusing in the sound field where you want everybody to recognize you.
Yes, absolutely. Right. Yeah, the less noise you hear from anybody, the better off.
Yep.
Yeah, well, and I do a lot of independent film, and that's one of the things that'll kill independent film quicker than anything is bad audio.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
When the audio's bad, you're going to point out the sound guy. When it's good, he'll get ignored because that's what it's supposed to sound like.
Exactly.
So you're either under major pressure or you're being ignored.
Exactly.
Right.
That's
right.
great.
See, as an HVAC technician and a maintenance man, I understand that. I love it when I'm ignored because that means things aren't broken.
Yes. Very true.
Yep. So ignore me, please. I'm speaking to my work phone now. All right, we're going to have to take a break, but I'm going to hit the comedy rundown real quick. Do you guys have any bands that are coming up this week and weekend that you want to go through as well? We'll do the comedy and music rundown.
Okay.
Actually,
Barry
we do.
hands it over to you.
Yeah.
And
I don't know why he's handing that to me. I told him before we got here that I'm not participating much. This is his time to shine. So shine, baby, shine.
It's your turn now. She's
Okay.
been shining so far.
Put your sunglasses on.
All right. Go right ahead.
Oh.
Yeah.
Coming up on in July, and I don't have the date. 14th is Rind. They're an awesome band. They were in the Dayton Underground series. In August, we have Bipolar Opposites.
Which are rock. They're a rock genre as well.
Are they?
Yeah, Rhine is like a heavier rock, and then Bipolar Opposites is a rock, not quite as heavy. And these are all the second Saturday of every month of each month. And then see, why am I talking?
I let her just take over.
What's wrong with me?
Because you like to shine.
In,
you can't help it.
Yeah, in September. Shh, be quiet, I'm talking. In September, we have Far From Eden's going to be there, and that's our host. She's the vocalist for that band. So that'll be in September. And that's all we have for now.
Yeah, I try to right now I'm trying to only book like 3 months at a time.
Right.
Because we have so many requests, and we're very thankful for that, for people that want to come on the show. But so much can change over 3 months. So, there could be a band that drops off and another band that gets really big. So we try to do it every 3 months. So that's our 3-month time frame. And then we'll be having one each month for the remainder of the year, 3 more months.
We want to keep a month open in case the Stones call us and want to come on.
Yeah, you never know. You never know when that's going to That's why I always keep a few open calendar dates in case,
You have to.
I don't book my show very far in advance in case somebody like Donnie Baker wants to come on.
That's right. That's
something,
right.
Which happens all the time. I actually did have Greg Hahn. I don't know if you're familiar with it. You listen to TUE and Bob and Tom show. Greg Hahn's on there a lot too. And he was headlining at Wiley's one weekend, and he called into the radio station, and our phones weren't working.
Oh.
We couldn't have a conversation. I could broadcast him. I could put him on the air, but we couldn't hear each other.
Wow.
So finally what I did, I said, what I'm going to do, Greg, is I'm going to put you on the air, and you yell for as long as you want about whatever you want. And tell me when you're finished, and I'll take you off the air. So Greg Hahn is yelling on my radio show for about 3.5 minutes.
Oh, my goodness. That's adorable.
Which was so much fun.
I bet.
I couldn't breathe. I was laughing so hard at some of the stuff he was doing.
That's awesome.
Move over, Jimmy Kimmel. Step aside, Conan O'Brien. Back off, Stephen Colbert. It's my turn. I'm Mike Shea, and every Tuesday on my show, Mike Talks Funny, I sit down and talk with comedians, actors, film fans, podcasters, anybody willing to get down, get deep, and get dirty.
I don't remember the first time I had sex. That was horrible. I didn't even finish the first time I had sex.
I've tasted what most comics want, and now I have to go back and eat the leftovers.
You're so brave for wearing that shade of lipstick on stage. My God.
Think of Last Comic Standing, and Mystery Science Theater 3000 had a baby, and that's the show.
My online doppelganger is also a larger black man. He is Adrian Miller. All the top results are he's a professor.
Interviews with great people, not to mention all kinds of awesome new music every show.
Hey, this is Don Smith.
This is Scotty Mays.
Hey, this is Kevin Goatee with Comics Watching Comics.
Brought to you by Eventide Entertainment. Oprah's Book of the Month Club? Please. We've got something much better in store for you.
Let's talk about books. The energy is right. I got a candle going. It feels good.
Every Monday morning, Jessica Gillen sits down and talks with you about the very best in books and literature.
Murder on the Orient Express. The Strange Case of the Alchemist's Daughter. The Cruel Prince.
It's The Bookseller. Every Monday morning, brought to you by Eventide Entertainment. What's up, guys? It's time for this week's comedy rundown. Everything going on in the world of comedy here in Dayton, Ohio. Thursday night at Mugshots, there's going to be an open mic night starting at 8 p.m. Also, there's going to be an open mic night starting at 10 p.m. at the Hookah Bazaar here in Kettering, Ohio. Matt Bergman will be performing at the Dayton Funny Bone that night as well. Friday and Saturday, Arnez J is at the Dayton Funny Bone, and Charley Hester will be hanging out at Wiley's Comedy Club. And Sunday, like always, it is the Wiley Sunday Comics, the very best in local comedy, hitting it up for you guys for 2 hours at Wiley's Comedy Joint. That is what's going on in the Dayton comedy scene. For more information, make sure you guys go to www.wileyscomedy.com for all kinds of special offers, tickets, scheduling, all that goodness. And now, back to the show.
Lane, I've been going to this high school for 7.5 years. I'm no dummy.
All right, we are back on the Life Radio Show. I'm your host, Don Smith. We played a little choke hazard, and I had to follow that up with some Mr. Wiggly's Exploration Launch. I just received that song the other day, and I just thought I'd go ahead and put it out on the air. So that was Ötzi the Iceman.
I love it. I love it.
So there
what do you
you
think,
go, Mike.
Antonio?
Mike, you have...
Unfortunately, I'm impressed.
There you have it. Mike Canistero and Mr. Wiggly's Exploration Launch has the Life Radio Show seal of approval once again on his new single, Ötzi the Iceman. Oh, that's so much fun.
That is so much fun.
Mike Canistero is a great guy. Really, really hilarious. He's got some of his comedy is its own style. I think he's just very unique.
Yeah, I need to meet him. I would like to meet him sometime because that's
I'll
just
get
some
you,
really
I'll
good
get you
humor.
Some information.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
All
what a
right.
good guy.
Well, it's almost 20 minutes to the end of the show, so we have some news stories we should probably cover.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I would be. Did we cover news stories the last time you guys were here?
Yeah, we killed time with that. Yeah, we did.
We killed time. It's not killing time. It's
Oh,
fantastic
excuse me.
important news. It's part of my shtick. It's what I do. Okay. Employees at a bank in Tinsukia, India, have a good reason to be cheesed off after at least one rat got into an ATM and ate $19,000 worth of rupees. A rodent robber was discovered June 11th when technicians arrived to fix a State Bank of India cash machine. Inside the ATM was one dead rat amid a bunch of Indian currency and 500 rupee and 2,000 rupee bills that had been chewed to shreds.
Oh, my God.
Police Superintendent Mugna Yota, that guy, told reporters on Friday that the rat had entered the ATM through small holes for the cables.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, that's
I was thinking of rubies.
$19,000.
I was thinking that has to hurt when he goes to the bathroom.
Well, that's probably what killed him.
Yeah.
Why are you thinking that
rat.
anyway?
Well, rubies.
I got you. I got you.
Rupees. Yeah, I think that was paper money.
Yeah.
Just the name.
It is.
Yeah. But that's a. That's different.
Like I said.
Different. Yeah, we killed time
We
with
killed
that news
some
story.
time.
Not enough. We have to punch this up a little bit.
Okay.
Any dead rat stories? I just thought I'd throw that out there and see what you never know.
Interesting.
Okay.
Very interesting.
That's all we got. It's just
that was all the
interesting.
news?
Yeah. That's all the
Oh.
that's all we have on that story. It's
Okay,
just to
good.
talk about. That's
Yeah.
interesting. Let's move on. From a dead rat to a live worm. A Russian woman bugged by a strange lump on her face was even more shocked to discover the cause, a live worm. According to the New England Journal of Medicine, the 32-year-old woman first noticed strange nodules below her left eye that later moved above her eye and then down to her upper lip. She told doctors the nodules appeared after she visited a rural area outside Moscow where she had been bitten repeatedly by mosquitoes. The nodules caused occasional itching and burning, but she said she had no other symptoms. Doctors quickly identified the suspect, a long parasitic roundworm called Dirofilaria rheopens, typically spread by mosquitoes and hosted by dogs and other carnivores. They removed the squirming lump from the woman's face using local anesthetic and a pair of forceps.
Oh, my God. Visualize that.
That's a bad day right there.
Oh, can you imagine a worm coming out of your face? I mean, that is so horrible.
Well, we were speaking of death during the break, so I guess that would add to that. But this was a live one, so yeah.
Jeez.
Be an episode of The Doctors.
Yeah.
You know, that's true. The doctors have that gory stuff on there.
Yeah.
The real
What
gory.
was that show? House. That would have been
Yes.
one for him to try to
Yeah,
figure out.
that would have been out too. Oh,
The House
Lordy.
live worm episode.
And what was the ice song?
Ötzi the Iceman. Yeah, he was. You know the story of Ötzi the Iceman.
I don't.
Oh, okay. Well, he was found in the Alps by some skiers.
Okay.
And it just because of where he fell into this glacier, he was very well preserved. One of the most well preserved specimens they found from that date back that far. And it was I can't remember 5,000 years, but the big
remember.
mystery was about how he died because it wasn't natural causes. He'd been shot in the back.
Is that what it was?
Yeah, that's what they believe. It's been a long time since I've studied Ötzi.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah.
Wow. Well, it sounds like Ötzi did something that maybe he shouldn't have done. Or
it's a good possibility.
Yeah.
Either that or somebody else was doing something.
Yeah.
They shouldn't be doing.
Yeah.
There was some foul play.
Yeah.
Somewhere.
That's I don't know. That's a long time ago.
Well, that's why the show ended. That's why the song ended with whackety whack. Somebody whacked Ötzi. They took him out. He upset the mob of 5,000 years ago.
Oh,
so,
wow.
yeah, which you didn't want to do. They were a rough crowd back then.
Yeah, try to wrap
It was
your
a
head
rough
around
crowd.
that, though. 5,000 years ago. We talk about this a lot, you know. I mean, this Earth is like billions of years old. So we're just like a little speck.
Be careful. We're getting deep now.
Yeah. Well,
I digress.
We get deep on this show. This is a show with depth now. See, you don't know this.
The
A year
quality
ago, we had
of
no
this
depth.
show
And now
is not what I thought. Not to be an insult, but I
Exactly,
didn't realize that you were so into this kind of stuff. You know.
What kind of stuff is that? You lost me somewhere.
I lost me somewhere.
It's always a good time on the show. That's
It
why
is.
the news stories bring out the best in us.
It really does. Because
See, I always feel I should open with news stories because that gets people more open on the show.
that's
As you
probably
can
a good
tell,
idea.
Antonio over here is just having a ball.
We can't keep his mouth.
Yeah,
we
he just
can't
keeps
keep
going.
him quiet,
He's
can
got
we?
so much input on these news stories.
But he's got a nice big smile.
That's good. That's good. Yeah,
That
he's probably thinking, I don't want any part of this show.
He's probably thinking, I can't wait to get my own show and never have to do this again.
Yep.
And he
Note-
laughs.
Note to self: no news stories on my show. What was supposed to be a happy Father's Day meal turned out to be a stomach-churning experience for one New York City man. Curtis May's daughter and granddaughter took him out to the Bohemian Hall and Beer Garden for burgers and beer. Everything was fine, that is, until they got the receipt. At that point, he noticed something really disgusting. Along with a request to add cheddar cheese and mayo to his burger was this directive: please spit in it too.
Yeah.
Mays said, I ate my burger already. I felt like I was going to throw up. Mays said that he confronted the waitress and that she couldn't explain what had happened. She said she didn't do it. So I was like, who prints out the receipt? So she said, I take it up there and print it myself. So you did it. Why are you lying about it? And then she just walked off.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah. Have you ever worked in a restaurant?
I have.
Oh, these things happen.
I know they do, and it
it's
makes me
terrible,
sick.
yeah.
There was a movie about that. Fast Food, I think, was the name of it.
I think I know what you're talking
They
about.
did some
Yeah.
pretty nasty stuff in that movie.
Yeah. Waiting. There was one called Waiting where they did that
Maybe
at
that's
one
what it
point
was.
as well, which is a terrible movie, just really bad. Or annoying. It was supposed to be a comedy. I didn't really
And it
find
wasn't
it very
funny.
No. It was Ryan Reynolds was in it, which that's
Well, I'll tell you, you do have to think about that because I know that stuff does happen, and it's really disgusting, and I don't understand why people need to do that to other people.
Yeah.
I don't get it. It's sick.
My theory in a restaurant is you never complain about something until after you've eaten.
Right.
And you never send something back.
Very smart.
See, my ex-wife didn't understand a lot of these things. Like, oh no, don't send that back.
Because you don't know what you're getting back with it.
Exactly, because usually people don't like when they have to redo something. Yeah, that makes for a bad day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's not funny.
Yeah, my grandfather used to own a fast food restaurant, so when we would go visit him, we would hear some of the horror stories and fired employees.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I'm pretty careful about ordering at fast food restaurants now.
Yeah. I worked all through junior high and high school. I think since I was 14 years old, I worked at a local restaurant. And I'm not going to give the name of it because it's still in existence. Had so much fun working there. Wouldn't eat there. I had one of the worst things on the menu was a pizza. And our cooks hated making them because it usually took about a half hour. And we had this guy that would come in like on a Friday night, 5 minutes before we close, and order a pizza. Well, he did that the one time, and the cook's already mad having a bad night, and he pulls the pizza out of the oven, and it slides off the rack upside down on the floor.
Oh, no.
We hadn't mopped yet.
Oh, no.
So he took a spoon, and he scooped all the cheese back up on top, sprinkled some more cheese on it, threw it back in the oven for a couple minutes to melt the new cheese, and sent it on out.
Oh, gross.
Yeah, it was, the guy told the waitress it's the best pizza he'd ever had there. Which was the worst part, because it probably did have a lot more flavor than he was used to.
A lot more ingredients.
Yeah, we called those floor seasonings.
Floor
it wasn't
seasonings.
me.
I
It
like
wasn't me.
that.
I worked in the dish room. I did not do that.
So you know about the 3-second rule, right? Everybody knows the 3-second rule.
Yeah, it took a couple minutes to scoop that cheese up. That was way more than 3 seconds.
I'm questioning my decision to order pizza every week now.
They have to make it in front of me, and it can never lose my
you
sight.
have to go to like what is a rapid fire where they make everything right there.
Yeah, that way you know, but you don't know what they've done to the ingredients before you get them.
There, yeah.
Right.
It's
oh Lord, I guess the best thing to do is just stay home.
Yeah, just learn to cook and
barricade yourself in, buy the ingredients.
That's right. We love to cook.
Like I would say grow or raise the food, the animals and the vegetables yourself. That's the only way you're safe anymore.
It's very true. Wow,
just a lot of work.
We love to cook,
We're lazy
though.
society.
I'm not. I'm not because I shine.
That's
I'm
true.
not.
That's true. You shine.
Yeah, we love to cook. We cook all the time. We love it.
I used to.
Did you?
I used to.
Did you find enjoyment?
Would you settle down over the. Yeah. Antonio's breaking the chair.
He's just making a bunch of noise over there.
Yeah. Well, he's waking up. He's getting excited.
He's an attention getter over there. Did you have something to say, Antonio?
Nope.
No.
Okay, let's we'll do one more news story and we'll see where that takes us. Researchers, and we're done. That's all I can get out. Researchers. I don't even know what that is.
That's a new word.
Yep. Researchers in Hungary who found that normal and overweight dogs behave differently in tasks involving food say the dog's responses were similar to what might be expected in normal and overweight humans. The study suggested dogs could be used as models for future research into the causes and physiological impacts and psychological impacts of human obesity. The authors of the paper from Budapest ELTE University said researchers put 2 bowls, one of them holding a good meal, the other empty or containing less attractive food, in front of a series of dogs. The study found that canines of normal weight continued obeying instructions to check the second bowl for food, but the obese ones refused after a few rounds. I don't know what exactly they're getting at with this study.
I'm not quite sure either.
It's not making a lot of sense to me. Who put this news story? Oh, I did. We expected this is a quote from the test leader, Orsolia Torda, which is a heck of a name. Mm-hmm. That's not the quote. That's the name. This is now that person's quote. We expected the overweight dog to do anything to get food, but in this test, we saw the opposite. The overweight dogs took a negative view of their food.
So what's the point? So the ones that are in better shape ate more food, and the ones that were obese didn't. Okay.
Probably because they were already full. They had a pizza on the way in with extra floor seasonings because dogs love that kind of stuff.
Oh, our dog loves it.
Oh, my goodness. I don't know. That's a stupid little paper there.
That was a bad news story.
Did you pick that out?
That makes me a bad host.
What's wrong with you?
I don't know. Well, usually I see something in a news story, and a lot of times by the time I actually read the news story, I forgot what the hell that was. See, I'm as surprised as anybody by these news stories. See, people think when I come up with something funny about them, I've been thinking about them the whole time. I haven't seen these since I put them on this paper
probably
3 weeks
paper
ago.
At you.
Yep, I have no idea what that even means. So
I don't either.
There clearly was something in there at one point that I said, that's a good news story to include.
That'll kill some time.
Yeah, that'll kill because it was long and I couldn't pronounce half of it. Even the normal words that I should be able to, as an English major, pronounce.
Researchers?
Like researchers.
You're an English major?
Unique. I was at one point. I have a bachelor's degree in English. But researchers,
I'm gonna have to research that.
Well, it was a creative writing degree actually, and that's my creative point. Is I make up new words as I go.
Oh, that's good.
So the researcher is that's the greeter at a church where you haven't been to in a while and you've gone back in. He's re-churching you. Get in. You've been re-churched.
For all of you that have been re-churched today.
Yeah, it's about time. We've been waiting to re-church you for months, and you finally got back to us.
You need to really, really, really use this word a lot.
Re-church.
You'll have everybody in the area.
That's the name of this episode, actually, is going to be re-church. There it is. I wrote it down. Re-churching.
Dayton Music Scene and Re-church.
Yeah.
What's that mean?
Yeah, that's a good band name. Re-churched.
Re-churched.
Chronic re-church.
Yeah. Oh, that's even
good.
better. I'm changing the name of the episode. It's now Chronic Re-churching. We're good.
Oh, that was a good one, honey. I'm proud of you.
I got one today.
A high five on that.
Yep.
See, I shine.
Great. Yep, we've been waiting. Chronic Re-churchers.
You bet I had to wake you up to hear it, though.
Chuck, baby,
and
Chuck,
we thought
baby.
I told you there was something in that news story.
You did.
There's always a reason I put it there. I knew that this
that
was
it was just so stupid that it would bring a lot of entertainment,
Exactly.
at least to us. We
There's
don't know
gotta
what
be
your
something there.
listeners are doing right now, but we think it's funny.
Yeah, that's all that matters.
That's right.
All right, that's enough of that. I can't handle any more news tonight. At least it's not bad news. It's not like the national news that we hear all the time. So
yeah,
that's I pride myself on nonsense news.
I like nonsense news too.
Exactly.
I really do because you know what? Look how much it makes you laugh.
Exactly.
It really does.
Even if it's just men's pronouncing. And we're done. Do you guys have anything else to say?
Let me research that.
Yeah, research. Let's do some research. And don't men's pronounce. I told you I was tired when we started. Okay, well, let's... excuse you. You all right?
Yep.
Okay. Bless you. That should have been better. I haven't been researched in a while. I forgot my manners.
He's a little confused right at the moment.
Did you say confused?
Confused.
I think you mispronounced that.
Mispronounced that. Mispronounced.
Mispronounced.
Hang on, I'm recording this.
Oh, wow. My English degree has just been revoked.
I think it was revoked a long time ago, probably.
Most likely. All right.
Oh, Lord. You do bring a laugh. You did this the last time we were here.
Well,
we left here feeling really happy.
That's what I do. I'll let you guys go over one more time your upcoming schedule and who's coming on your show, and then we'll kick you out.
There you go.
Yep. Shine, Barry. Shine.
Shine, Barry.
Music
Shine.
Scene, second Saturday of every month. We are live from 2 to 3 on DATV and CATV. Upcoming shows. July, we have Rind. August, we have Bipolar Opposites. And September, we have Far From Eden. Check our website out, www.daytonmusicscene.com. And we are on Facebook and YouTube also. So check us out.
Also on our Facebook page, you can go to the Facebook group page, and that's where musicians can post upcoming events, shows, whatever's happening with them. That's their part of that page. So
I also want to give a shout out to Music Connection Dayton. It's a great resource for musicians. They have classifieds. They have where you can post gigs coming up, anything to do with music. Check it out, musicconnectiondayton.com.
It's really active, very active.
Very active,
right.
Yeah.
Awesome.
That's all I got.
It's good having you guys in again.
It was nice to see you.
It's always fun.
It is fun. It is fun. So
I'm still waiting for the chronic researchers to be on your show. Your show.
Your show. We'll see you later.
Thanks for coming in.
Thank you.
We'll take a little
Thanks
break.
for having us.
Thank you.
Antonio, you sticking around for more of this? Or?
Yep.
It was great to
are a
meet
great
you,
man.
Antonio. It was great to meet you. It really was.
meet you
Good
too.
luck to you. You'll
All
do
right.
great. I know you will.
Thank you.
Not
Right.
because you're doing much today, but
Right.
just because I have that vibe.
Yeah, you'll do great things on your own show. All right. Well, thanks for coming in, guys. We're
Thank
going
you.
to
Thank you.
and we will be back here shortly.
Wednesdays on Eventide, Robert Yetter and Mike Shea sit down and throw albums at each other, talking about them, picking them apart, ripping them a new one. All different artists, all different genres, all different levels of suckage. It's Track Record, Wednesdays at 9 a.m. on the Eventide podcast feed. For more information, go to eventideent.com. Nothing brings people together quite like the movies, and every week Aaron Lopez wants you to join him in a discussion about the latest and greatest in the world of film. So grab a drink, grab some popcorn, and get comfy. Come join Aaron and friends every Thursday at The Drive-In, presented by Eventide Entertainment.
You live here? Yes. Well, maybe you know what a zombie is. When a person dies and is buried, it seems there's certain voodoo priests who have the power to bring him back to life.
Horrible.
It's worse than horrible because a zombie has no will of his own. You see them sometimes walking around blindly with dead eyes, following orders, not knowing what they do, not caring.
You mean like Democrats?
All right. All right. Sorry,
Nice.
Ray. We're back on the Life Radio Show. I'm your host, Don Smith. We have changed guests. We still have Antonio here being quiet, playing with his phone. He'll be all right. And my next guests are in the studio, Charley Hester.
Hello.
And Ray Hensley.
Hello.
Hello. It's good to have you guys here.
Thanks so much for having us.
You look so surprised, Ray, that you just,
I'm excited.
that's all you.
Yeah.
But was it the Democrats thing that I played? Is that
Yeah.
Did that
Yeah.
upset you right?
You're gonna
I
think,
had
like,
to do it.
You're just going to get me fired up. You're going to get me I'm just kidding.
No,
People are going to come to the show and expect like this like real like right-wing comic, and I'm not.
Right. Yeah, we'll get you going. So what were you saying about the liberal?
You want me to carry on about it? All right.
Why not? We'll get right into it, Ray.
No, I don't want to do that.
Okay.
I don't do politics. So.
Okay. Well,
I'm
I
not
just
smart
think
enough to even
it's
pay
funny
attention
that
to
the liberal kids are calling for revolution. So I don't think they know what that means.
They're starting a civil war is what I read.
Oh, well.
Which is
that's
silliness.
Yeah.
It's just silliness. Like, I don't pay attention to politics at all. Like, I didn't find out until near Obama's thing that he was a Democrat.
God, Ray.
His official thingy.
How did you get near his thing without Secret Service taking you out?
It's tricky, but it's real tricky.
I mean, if it was Bill Clinton, I'd understand. But how did you get close to Obama's? You are.
Don't worry.
Oh my
Next
God.
question.
You're very
Next
sneaky,
question.
Ray. How are you?
I'm great.
How was losing the fireworks competition?
I didn't like that at all.
No, me either.
I did tell Karen, I was like, hey, I really need a good Humbler weekend, and you had it.
There you go. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Congratulations to Dwight McCormick, though.
Yeah, he did great.
Yeah.
I thought he was fantastic. I thought he deserved to win.
Yeah.
After me. But
he deserved it,
No, Dwight did great. I thought he was fantastic. I thought
Bridget
was in second, right?
And
Joe was in third.
Robinette.
I thought everybody did great. So
it
didn't mind losing
It was
to
a
him.
tough competition. It really was.
It's not like I lost to a bunch of open micers
Yeah.
who brought the whole crowd, and that's how they won.
Right,
So I didn't care.
Well, yeah, because
I lost to three good comics, and I would have rather had $1,000, but I made a lot of friends and all this jazz.
Which is way more valuable than a measly $1,000.
Yeah, yeah, I've been eating ramen and stuff, but yeah, it's fine. Yeah, $1,000 would have been. Yeah, friends are cool. I guess,
Yeah. Well, yeah, you can eat ramen with friends. Because we're all broke.
Yeah.
Word.
It's called college.
Yeah.
It's called comedy. Come on.
Yeah, I was going to say.
I like to think that I make enough money to where I don't need to eat ramen, but I don't.
No, everybody has their ramen days or months.
Yeah. 2018.
Yeah, it's a ramen year for Ray.
Ramen and Revolution.
Yep, there you go.
That's the name of your next album, Ray.
I think we should. Yeah, Ramen and Revolution.
Yeah, I'm going to write that down. That might be the name of this episode, unless we come up with something better.
Ooh.
I have to write these things down as we go. In fact, the last one was Chronic Rechurchers.
Chronic Rechurchers?
Rechurchers. Yeah, it's a long story.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we'll have to listen to it later.
Yeah, exactly. See, that's how you do it. That's how you do a teaser.
That's how you
for
build
your
the
own
suspense
show
and the
on your
promotion.
show.
Yes. We got this marketing crap down.
They don't teach this. They don't teach this in school.
Right. What was the name of the episode I was?
Yeah. Ramen and Revolution.
Ramen and Revolution. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, cute T-shirt.
That would be.
It would. Yeah. The college kids would eat it up.
Yeah, not knowing what it means.
Buzzing.
It's important art.
Hey, I'm going to take my shoes off, so if my feet smell bad.
Oh, they do.
Shut up, Ray.
Yeah. Well, you've been in the car with Ray this whole time, so.
Yeah.
Well, my feet didn't smell then. I had my shoes on.
Oh, okay.
I try and be a polite car mate, but
once you get in the radio studio,
well,
it all comes out.
Yeah.
She goes, I know Ray. I don't want him to see my feet, but I don't know Don. He's going to smell them for sure.
Yeah. Now this is both of you guys your first time on the show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
Good to have
excited
you.
to be
Good to
here.
have
I don't know what the heck Ray's doing, but yeah, I'm Ray. Some guy, I don't know.
It's Roy.
Yeah,
It's been
it's
Roy this
Roy.
whole time.
Yeah,
We just keep calling him Ray.
Whatever guy they got to feature at this club I'm headlining.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I guess you can come.
Yeah, it's fine. No, it's been Roy my entire life. But the bullies were like, you know what? Gay and Ray rhyme. He's Ray from now on.
Oh, I put Ron on the marquee.
Ron?
We're going to show up on Friday, and it's going to say Ron Hensley.
It'll be Robert by then.
Robert.
That's so... Ramen Revolution and Roberts.
Yeah.
There we go. Alliteration at its finest, boys.
Absolutely.
Well done.
You should write a song.
Oh, I might.
Yeah.
I
if
got
you
time.
can play on the air.
Well, I don't have that much time.
Do it right now. Do it. Play it.
Yep. And go.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
So what? We'll start with you, Charley, because Ray's sitting over there.
Yeah. Screw him.
What got you started in comedy? How did that come about?
I was working on a YouTube show called Explosion Bus with Jonathan Katz from Dr. Katz Professional Therapist. Yeah. And everybody that I worked with on the show, they were all stand-up comedians. And so a friend of mine, Ian Abramson, he was like, you should try comedy, Charley. And I was like, well, that's really cool. I never thought about it. And I did my first set on New Year's Eve, like 5 years ago. And it was terrible. Oh, my God. Oh, so bad. So bad. But I loved it.
Bad for you or the crowd or everybody
yes.
involved?
Everybody
okay.
involved. Nobody had a good time. But there were a couple laughs in there, and then that was enough. And comedy's like heroin, man. I assume. You get hooked.
Got any more comedy?
Yeah. Come on, Mama needs a fix. But yeah, I started doing comedy, and at first I was just doing straight stand up, and it really wasn't ringing my bell like I wanted it to. And I've always been a musician my whole life. I went to college and studied opera.
Oh, wow.
And I decided that I was going to try and do a funny song, and that was when it all clicked.
You started opera, so do you still do the
no,
opera?
No.
That's how she sings.
That's
yes.
Just grab her
It's
hands
all
like that. Just
very dirty songs in Italian. That's with a ukulele.
Loses a lot of crowds. It's got a real specific crowd.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So it's Italian Hawaiian opera. That's great.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's cute. Yeah, that's cute.
Like Carmen Lay. Yeah. So anyway, but yeah, so that's kind of what happened with me. And then it's just continued to grow, and I've become much more passionate about it over the years. And so now this is what I'm doing full time.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. I like it.
Yeah. It's a good thing to do full time. I do everything else full time, but comedy. That's the only thing I do part time now.
It's got to be super sweet.
I do
traveling around the country working 4 to 5 hours a week.
Yeah.
It's got to be fantastic. That's all you do, right? Just 4 to 5 hours a week. That's all comedy is anymore.
That's
yeah.
pretty much.
Yeah.
You sleep till 5 in the evening.
and
You
then
wake
go to a
up
show.
and do a show. You
Right.
get drunk. You go back to
Right.
sleep. You wake up in
life.
another city, not even sure how you got there.
Yeah. No, I totally don't
It's
spend.
kind of like radio.
Yeah, I totally don't spend 50 hours working on my comedy career every week.
Yeah, this past 3.5 years doing this radio show, it's all been a blur. It's just one big drunken party the whole time.
Wait, is this really water or is this
No,
vodka?
that's vodka.
Oh,
It's
cool.
Dasani vodka. A lot of people don't know they
That's
branched
the fancy vodka. All right.
out. Well, yeah, if it comes in a plastic bottle, that's the vodka for me.
Got it. Oh, man.
So how about you, Ray? What got you started in comedy?
I was I've always wanted to do comedy ever since I was a kid. So ever since I was like 18 or so. And then but instead I picked up drums and started
You're
playing
18,
in a band.
aren't you, Antonio? You're a kid now. He
Not
just
18
called you a
yet.
kid.
I'm about to be a kid in a couple months.
Wait, how old are you?
17.
Oh, my
We
gosh.
have
I
to
have
change the format of the whole show. We
I
can't
have
even...
2 children your age. Okay. This is going to get real awkward in a bit. Okay, Ray, please
Were
continue.
they twins?
Well, no, but they're real close.
Oh, okay. So
yeah.
not 2 children exactly
No, I had
his age.
my kids are all back to back to back because I was bad at tequila. So.
Oh.
Anyway. Go.
Well, I'm glad we just gave you vodka then.
Yeah. I've had a hysterectomy. It's fine.
Jeez Louise.
Did you almost taking the mic? Hell yeah.
I wasn't expecting the hysterectomy. I wasn't expecting to get to know you that well.
Well, no, I'm
But-
just covering
open.
fourth base. It's
Super
cool.
open.
It's cool.
We had a 2-hour drive here, and I've learned a lot about Kathy Hester. It was good times, real good times. But no, I played in a band for 10 years. I traveled around doing that. I was a drummer.
Oh,
yeah,
cool.
yeah, real good with my hands, Antonio. Call me when you're 18.
Jesus Christ.
So sorry, Antonio. But no, yeah. So I was a drummer for all of my 20s, And then when I turned 30, I quit the band and all that other stuff, and
you quit
I still
the
wanted
band?
to. I wanted, yeah. It was just,
not
just
about that life.
drama. You know what I mean? Just band drama. Just a lot of dudes in a van all the time. Just not good times. But I still wanted to perform.
All I wanted to do was play with their instruments.
Yeah, all I wanted to do was just finger their guitars. You know what I'm
Ray
saying?
sitting in the corner.
Yeah. I wanted to continue performing on stages because I enjoy performing. I love that. But there's not a lot of solo drummers out there.
That's true.
That's
true.
Yeah, there's not a whole
lot. You don't want a
of
lot of other influence in the band.
Right.
There aren't a lot of lead man drummers either.
There's a few of them.
Yeah, there's a few of them.
Yeah.
Not many.
But
I hear if you lose an arm, you're a popular drummer. But that's
yeah. We can get you. We can get you right to the top.
I got a saw in the car. I'll be right back. But
I
got
my work truck here. I got all kinds of stuff out there.
We're just gonna Picasso his career. It's fine.
But then, so I was bored. It's like, well, I've always wanted to do stand-up comedy. So I went to an open mic at Crackers in Indianapolis, and then I just got hooked, like she said. Mine was more like meth.
Right. Okay. Well, yeah. We all of our comedy addiction is different.
That's right.
Yeah. My comedy addiction is kind of like a bad relationship. I just keep going back every now and then. I take a break and then I go back. And that's so we.
Yeah. Sometimes it feels like that. Yeah.
Well, you got really sad in the face there just talking about that. You're just like,
yeah.
Do you want me to come around and give you a hug? Because I'll do that for you, Don. I feel like we need some. We'll have healing time after the show.
Yeah.
That's
good. Well, that's what we do after the shows. We just sit around and have a good cry.
Good.
For a while, just to talk about how, because of how we spent the last hour doing this show, it usually helps because you got to realize I've been doing this for 2 hours, so it's so I might cry a little more.
2 hours is pretty good for a guy your age.
That's true. Well, it's
not on the list.
Do you want me and Antonio to leave, or
it's a long radio show? 2
Antonio
hours.
needs to learn. He'll stay in the room. I'm gonna leave though. This is what being a man's like, Antonio. Stay in the room.
What's the age of consent in Ohio? What? No, just kidding. I'm just kidding, Antonio.
Not like that.
What?
Yeah, there are some things a young man doesn't need to learn yet.
No.
For instance, what 40 looks like on a man. What fat 40 and hairy looks
Are
like
you 40?
is not something that 41.
Oh, fist bump. I'm turning 41 in a month.
Oh,
Woo!
wow, I was way off on your age.
Yeah, I know. A lot of people are.
Aw.
Yeah, Charlie was like, how old is he? I was like, I don't know, like 50 or
Yeah.
something.
No.
65,
Let's
I think.
fix
I don't
this.
know.
I said he's
retired.
really
All
old.
he
He's-
does is
Yeah,
a radio
that was
show
his
now.
response.
I said he's really old. He's like 50 or something.
Yeah, and that was when I freaked out in the car. I'm like jerking the steering wheel, like, that's not old.
And I was like, you're only 40. When you get to 50, then you'll be really old.
Let
and
me hang
dumb.
on to my
like
youth
me.
and my denial.
Jeez.
Yeah, you're only 41. Wow. you
I've had a good life, right?
Yeah.
Like I said, past 3.5 years of doing this, nothing but a party.
Right.
When I started, I looked like this young man here. I was 37.
That was
but I still
the
looked that
beginning
young.
of hour one.
Yeah.
This is hour 2.
Yeah.
Nice. Jeez
Yeah.
Louise.
Oh, I mean just the not just this episode of the radio show. The 3.5 years I've done it has aged me like this.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Like a peeled apple.
Yeah, pretty much.
Ugh.
Pretty much. Like just nothing but the core left at this point.
Oh my gosh.
Surprised you didn't ask anybody if they want to see the seeds, but that's fine.
Oh, I don't ask. No.
Jeez Louise.
Oh.
That was you, Ray. That wasn't me for once.
See, I'm going for news stories
Can't
already
wait for
because
the
I got to
blogs
get something
coming
to
out
get
on
out
this
of
one.
this.
Yeah.
Yep, here's how you get out of this.
Yeah.
We're done. No.
And commercial.
Commercial. So, where were we before we got somehow derailed?
I told you
Somehow.
my comedy
You
story.
get
She said
every-
her comedy
yeah.
story, so I guess we're waiting on another question, huh?
I think that's all I had, really.
Oh, so we're done?
Can we talk about a super fun thing that I do?
Absolutely.
Cool. So, and Ray already knows this. So, yeah, I do this thing called the Great Girl Drive. And at every comedy show that I do, I collect pads and
That's why I'm on the
tampons. What?
That's why I do all of her shows. I'm part of the Great Girl Drive, apparently.
Oh, yeah.
You're driving them away.
But no, I collect pads and tampons, and then I donate them to women's shelters in whatever town I'm performing in. And so I'll be collecting at Wiley's this weekend. I'll be collecting pads and tampons all weekend. I'll have a donation basket. And before I leave town on Sunday, I'll drop those off at one of your domestic violence shelters here in Dayton.
Cool.
Yeah.
That is very cool, because it's those are necessary places, unfortunately.
They are. I'm a shelter girl, and I'm forever thankful that, I'm able to give back to those services that helped me become the woman and foul-mouthed comic that I am today.
Which is, we all owe them thanks for that.
Yeah.
But so far not foul-mouthed on the air, so that's good.
No. Normally I come
10 minutes in.
Yeah,
I have a huge poster board in my trunk that says, "Don't swear, woman. I mean it." I'm not joking. It's really in my trunk, and I usually bring it in and put it right where I can see it. So
you don't have that, so we could be in danger.
It's in the car, so if you go for a news break and you're like, "Charlie, go get your sign," then I'll
just in case.
I'm just gonna run and I'll go get
nervous.
it. I'll go get it.
No, the last hour I was telling the folks that were in here at Barry and Kathy Leggett, I was telling them about a guest I had on the show, that it was an hour and a half long interview, and after about 45 minutes, I said, "And we're done," because in 40 or 45 minutes, I bet I hit the panic dump button about probably 12 times just to get the F-bombs out.
Oh. Yeah. Well, I'm talking to you.
You just set a goal for us.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. 12.
We'll be done in
That's
30.
It. Yep. 30 times or 30 minutes?
We'll be done in 30 minutes.
Oh.
Yeah,
we last at
because
45. We're going to get done in 30.
Yeah,
we better get to work.
No, that's fine, because we got crap to do.
But you got to remember, there's 2 of you.
Oh, that's true. 15.
Right.
We've already been here for 10. So
Atta
we have
boy,
a
we
real
got
busy
this.
5 minutes ahead of us.
And go.
Yeah.
So, I'm just kidding.
Where was I? Let's take a break, actually. It's about time. It's about the half hour. It's about time to take a little break and refresh. And
do I smell bad?
Yes.
Damn it. Dang it.
No.
Oh.
It smells like feet in here.
All right. Well, let me find a song on here. Let me. What kind of music you guys like? It don't matter. I only have a couple songs I play from. We're gonna do.
Perfect.
We're gonna do a little.
We heard you play something on the way up here on I forgot what it was called.
Was it Choke Hazard, or was it Mr. Wiggly's Exploration?
No, it was Potter's Field. Potter's Field.
Oh, okay. Well, that's my intro.
They played live.
Music. Yeah, that was my intro music.
Something that they played live in the studio.
Maybe
That's what
not.
we listened to. I don't know.
On the way up here?
Yeah.
I didn't have anybody playing live.
Not today.
Oh, okay.
It was we listened to it on your website that you told us to go to. You told us to do research
and
to do our homework.
We did.
And we did it a half hour before we got here. So we were super prepared for this.
Well, it worked, Don. It worked real good.
One of my older episodes, Potter's Field, did play a live song in studio. There was also
really good. They're kind of folksy with a little violin or something.
I think that was the music I was listening to in the car, Ray.
I think
that was on the
because Potter's Field is it's a heavy metal.
Oh, that wasn't that. So. I did notice that you listened to some metal.
St. Mary, St. Michael.
That's it.
Okay. Well,
They're really good.
I do have some St. Mary, St. Michael. We can definitely do that.
That was really good. That was a really weird conversation.
This is the longest it's ever taken to decide on what song to listen to on this show.
People listening are just like, just play a song.
Just shut up.
Did we just break another record?
I think we
have.
Heck
yeah.
You guys are on fire.
Woo!
You just over here just holding the panic button. You're just like, and we're already on.
Yeah, that's what my hands are on.
Yeah, perfect.
The song's been playing for 5 minutes.
Yeah, you guys just been going.
And we're back.
Right.
If there's one thing that's true about wrestling fans, it's how much they like to talk about wrestling. Join Aaron Lopez and Ben Norsworthy for the Top Rope Wrestling Podcast.
Let's get ready to rumble!
Tune in every episode and be ringside as these two break down all of the big matches in the world of professional wrestling. Brought to you by Eventide Entertainment.
Hey man, this is Donnie Baker at Wiley's Comedy Club, and you're listening to WWSU 106.9. I swear to God.
All right, we're back on the live radio show. I'm your host, Don Smith, sitting in the studio with Charley Hester.
Hello.
Ray Danger Hensley.
Ray Danger Hensley.
Danger is his middle name. Yeah, I think he made that up, but that's
No. Well, my dad's name is Ray Hensley, and when I was playing music, people would be like, "How do I find you online?" I was like, "Just find Ray Hensley and add me." My dad would get friend requests all the time, and then messages, and he would like text me, "Hey, Laura in South Carolina said you were fantastic." I'm like, "Oh, okay, cool. She added you, huh?" He goes, "Yeah, you did really well apparently last night." I was like, "Cool." So I put Danger on there, and then people are like, "Danger's your middle name." Some people think it's real, which is ridiculous.
I actually have a friend who she named her son. His name is Colin Danger, and then their last name. So Danger is legitimately his middle name. I actually was kind of upset I didn't think of it because that would have been hysterical.
Yeah, that's
especially if
that
it was
poor
a
kid,
girl,
because they have to live up to that.
Well,
That is a
have you met kids
bar.
these days? Not a problem.
Well, that's true. That's true.
He'd have been proven how dangerous he is by like snorting condoms and stuff.
Yeah, well, most kids nowadays, their middle name is like Selfie. That would be more the.
What's your
I'm
middle
sorry,
name?
It's actually Carlo.
Carlo.
No S, just Carlo.
Right.
That's cool.
Which was confusing because there was a girl in my high school class whose middle name was Carlos with an S. And so...
Her name was Carlos?
Yes.
Your middle name's Carlo.
Right.
How does it's just spelled like Carlos with no S?
Right.
Nice.
So that was a little odd.
Okay.
Nice. Yeah.
What's your last name?
Sanchez.
Sanchez.
Yeah.
So now we know everything about you.
Pretty much.
What's your social security number?
Yeah,
What's your list
what's your
of
mother's
fears?
maiden name?
Yeah.
But no.
Somehow, with you talking to this young man, I'm reminded of the scene from Airplane.
Which one?
No.
Sweet little baby.
He goes, "What's Airplane?"
Yeah.
No, I've seen it.
Get out of here, Antonio. Don't call me Shirley.
Is this your first time in a cockpit?
Oh gosh, I should have put my door codes as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That would have been great.
Oh.
That's my first time on a plane before. Like movies about gladiators. Anyway.
Mercy.
Let's just do that whole movie.
Yeah, why not? Well, that's the rest of the show. We'll just recite lines from that movie.
Half of it would be off air.
Yeah.
It'd be worth it, though.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
That's art.
It is.
Oh, yeah.
No.
That's right.
It's radio.
How do you think they got the airplane to tie itself in a knot for the cover?
Oh, my gosh.
I don't think that's how it works.
They'd have to heat it up so the metal bends.
Right.
Because there's no way they had the technology back then to make CGI
Yeah,
one.
yeah.
It had
They
to be
couldn't.
real.
They couldn't have done that. No.
It had to be real.
Yeah,
You know what
absolutely,
I mean? It's crazy.
absolutely. Yeah, but well, if whatever CGI they did have back then, that was very expensive.
It had to be.
It had to-
That's crazy.
We asked the tough questions here.
Right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Where's the Mythbusters guy? Let's get them in here.
Yeah, yeah. Would you be prepared to play a song for us, or is that just
No, I
much?
can.
Okay.
Absolutely, I can. I don't know how close I can play and get to the mic because boobs are real. Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
And you mean Ray's, because you can have Ray's mic, not
No.
his boobs.
Yeah.
You can have those too.
No, I got my own things. I'm good. I'm good. Let's see. What do you want to hear about? I'm trying to think which songs I can sing that are clean.
Well, sing whatever you have that's clean.
Not much.
But cleanish.
Cleanish, I can probably do.
Now, is it opera? No. We
It
covered
is
that.
not. I'm trying to think if. Okay, just have your finger ready on the panic button, okay? let's just do it that way.
Yeah, well, keep me on edge. That's
Cool.
That's what I like in comedy music, is to just
All
keep
right.
me on edge, worried
so-
that I'm going
It'll
to
keep
lose
you
my,
attentive,
lose
for
my
sure.
radio
Yeah.
show.
Okay, so here's the deal. I lost 101 pounds.
Wow.
Yeah. And I have been working for the past several years on like learning to really embrace my body acceptance. I know that's a really popular thing. And so this was a song that I wrote about body acceptance. I had 3 beautiful children. I breastfed them all. Then I lost a bunch of weight. That's when they started to fall. Now these girls are harder to wrangle than a golden snitch. But that's the way it goes when you are gravity's bitch. Oh, these titties get longer with each passing year, migrating down into my southern hemisphere. They used to be perky till they started to transform. And now these bad girls always keep my kneecaps warm. You can,
right? Yeah,
I think that's a pretty good indication of some things that I do. I don't know.
That was radio enough, tame enough. So,
yeah, and that's about where the radio.
That's where.
That's about where it's.
Let's push it.
Yeah, push the envelope. Get me fired. I'm so tired of doing this show. Week after week, I bring people on here that have so much potential to get me fired from the station, and every one of them has let me down.
Aww.
There's a lot of Dayton comics in here with some mouths on them. I'm surprised.
I know. I am so disappointed in them, too.
I heard, we heard the one with Ed John.
We
heard the one with Ed John. He was like your co-host that day. I'm surprised he didn't slip up once.
He has before.
Oh, has he?
Yeah, he has dropped one before.
What a turd.
Yeah, that's
just
it.
the worst.
That's it.
Worst.
That's why he lost too. We love you, Ed.
I kept calling him last place.
We kind of like you.
I kept calling him last place on Sunday.
Oh,
like,
so you actually did see the...
Yeah. It's probably me. But he got off stage and he's like, oh, I did well. And I was like, nice job last place. And fist bumped him.
Nice.
Wow. He asked me, he said he was going to go up and do nothing but crowd work for his 5 minutes in the finals. I said, that'd be very brave. He said, what would happen if I won? I said, we would never hear the end of it, Ed.
Right. No, I told him after the show.
10 years from now,
I told him after the show, I go, good on you, man, for doing crowd work. That's awesome. It's the only thing you got laughs on, though. Nice job. And John Morse goes, man, you seem like such a nice guy, but you are just a mean person. I was like, that's what I do.
You get it back, though.
Ma'am.
You get it back.
For sure.
Yeah, that's
like when Wiley's put Gay Ray on their marquee.
Right.
Hilarious.
Right.
Hilarious.
Who would have done that?
My parents love that.
I laughed so hard. It's my Facebook cover picture right now.
Yeah.
And I know that the sign still doesn't say it, but that's so funny to me.
Well, Travis happened to catch me as I was changing the marquee, and he said, you know what you ought to do? And I said, you are absolutely right.
Yeah.
He tagged me in it on Facebook, and as soon as I saw it, I just busted into laughter. I thought it was so funny.
He has a joke where he talks about being called Gay Ray in high school because it rhymed.
Hilarious
and kids picked on.
Do the rest of it.
And so I don't know your jokes. I don't listen.
I do.
I know something about that part, but
I started going by Raymond. It's a real story.
Yeah.
I started going by Raymond, and then they started calling me Flamin' Raymond.
Wow.
Yeah, hilarious. Antonio didn't care. But no, I just...
That's my phone. My wife
Real
is calling while I'm
Thought
in.
maybe I forgot to turn
Well,
the
it's
vibrator
silence.
off.
It's just vibrating.
Yeah.
So we're going to all
There's two
wonder
different modes for that.
what you're doing, Ray.
Yeah.
There's silence and there's vibrate. It can't be both.
Yeah, all I hear is...
Oh, excuse me. I'll turn that right off. I just got a little bored over here.
I was wondering how you got your voice high like that.
You know.
Anyway, I was Travis Charles, another one of the local comics that
hack.
Yeah, oh, absolutely.
He should quit.
Yeah, we've all told him.
She's been at it for like 10 years, and he's still an open micer. Just a terrible comic.
But he drove by as I was out changing the marquee at Wiley's and thought it would be funny to
it was funny.
Gay Ray on the Wiley's marquee since he's co-headlining, I guess. Is that
being
even
bullied
a thing?
by the club I want to work for? That's
Oh, nice.
It's gonna be a fun weekend. I'm so excited.
I love it. I get in trouble in my town for touching signs, like the ones with the letters that slide.
Oh,
yeah.
Sometimes it's hard to resist.
Dude, there is one right now that says, come in and ask us about dental implants. and I can reach it, and I can turn that thing into saying anal implant so fast, like 3-letter swaps, and I'm there. But I haven't done it yet because I don't. Yeah,
You're letting us down.
I know.
You need to do it. Take a picture and then just.
I know. I need to take my next walk at night so that I can make that happen because I don't want to do it during the day because I don't know if it's illegal. I don't want to find out. So yeah, dude, 3 letters.
When I was at Arby's, I was working at Arby's when I was a kid, and this guy put on the marquee outside. He was supposed to put like 5 for $5 Arby melts or whatever, but he went out there and put Jenny Brown Eats Children on the marquee out in front, and then came back inside and then quit. Then people were like driving into the drive-thru, just like, "Who's Jenny Brown? Why is she eating children?"
That's amazing.
Hilarious.
I mean, if you're gonna go out,
right?
go out on a high note.
Just quit like that.
Yeah, absolutely.
I wasn't there that night, but I wish I would have been.
Yeah. So I may have to mess with the sign at Wiley's this weekend. Just give me the box of letters and let me play for just a couple.
Okay.
Cool.
Yeah, you're on.
Did you hear that, Danville? Dayton wants my input on their signs.
Why not? Because I've been tempted to put some stuff up there before.
It would be so easy. Oh, so many things you can say.
Yeah.
So, anyway.
All right. Should we hit some news stories?
Yeah.
It's about 20 minutes to the end of the show. We usually touch on some of the more important news stories that are out there.
Cool.
Because who really cares about millennials uprising? I mean, important news.
Eats ramen angrily.
Yeah.
I don't care about millennials.
An Idaho rancher showed off an unusual method he devised of transporting his horse in a homemade motorcycle sidecar. A video filmed on a road in Shoshone shows Casey Perkins riding his motorcycle while his horse rides next to him in a homemade sidecar. The video's filmer, Perkins' wife, said he made the horse sidecar himself because you can't buy those things. She wrote, "My husband started this whole deal a little over a year ago when he decided to modify the family van and hauled his horse in it. That inspired his next invention of hauling the horse in a sidecar of a motorcycle."
That's amazing.
Is a rancher with way too much time on his hands.
Yeah. No, it's...
They make trailers for that kind of thing.
Right.
Not.
But what fun is that? I mean,
what fun is
where's
that?
your sense of adventure and exploration?
You have to be real careful driving around it, too, because that's a show pony, and he has stickers all around it.
Right. That's his sponsors. He just has...
Bunch of naysayers.
There it is.
Yep. Dude, I'm on
road
fire.
Safety, though. What kind of seatbelt do you have for your horse?
Right. Yeah. I just want that. Does a horse have to wear a helmet?
He wasn't in the video.
Yeah.
I mean, I saw the video, but...
Oh, you saw the... You know the story?
Yeah. Well, I just saw the video. I didn't know there was an actual story to it.
Well, just a video, I guess. The video is the story. So well, that's why we're talking about, because it's important.
It didn't look like there was
America
a back on
needs
it.
to
It looks
know.
like the horse could have just slid out the back.
Yeah. Must have been holding on.
Usually
see him go
other
down
things
70
slide
like
out of the back of a horse. But
Well, that'd be no problem because you don't go over 20 miles an hour.
Yeah, it's true.
So the interstates have never been more safe
Yeah.
because you don't travel over 40, 20 miles an hour.
Like a speed bump or something, or a
pothole. Yeah, what's he going to do with that horse next? Is he going to? He should make something that the horse can pull.
Oh man,
as transportation.
Like a wagon?
Something like that. That would be crazy.
That's just crazy.
Yeah.
Antonio Wagon is. I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
We've gone so far forward into the future. We're now circling back.
Right. Yeah.
This is cool. What is this? It's a wagon.
Yeah.
Imagine going to McDonald's with that, though. I mean, what?
With the
Do you
motorcycle
guys not have
sidecar?
Amish around here?
Sidecar. That would.
Well, they don't have the motorcycle sidecar for their horse.
Well, I thought you meant with a horse and a wagon.
No, they actually have
for
another
that, you go to
horse
Amish country.
pulling
Right.
the sidecar with the horse in it.
There you go.
That's how the Amish
that seems
Right.
effective. Yeah.
Yeah, because they
don't have
to be,
power.
Yeah, they don't have
Because they don't horse around.
They have actual horsepower. It's 1 or 2 horsepower.
Right.
This wagons really just get it.
Yep, step on it.
Yeah.
Authorities in Argentina announced they seized marijuana, cocaine, crack cocaine, and cash being smuggled inside replica World Cup trophies. Were you about to play a song? And
No, I was just going to play background music while you're reading the news to cheer it up.
Okay, well, we can start over. Go right ahead.
All right, here we go. This is a news story about drugs.
Drug story.
Cool.
Authorities in Argentina announced they seized marijuana, cocaine, crack cocaine, and cash being smuggled inside replica World Cup trophies. Buenos Aires Security Minister Cristian Rotondo tweeted photos showing the souvenir replicas of the trophies that the so-called Narcos de la Copa were allegedly using to ship 44 pounds of marijuana, 22 pounds of cocaine, 1,800 doses of crack cocaine.
That's a lot of crack.
How do they define doses?
A rock, I guess. But even rocks, I'm guessing, come in different sizes.
Yeah.
Get your rocks off.
And more than $14,000 in cash. Police said 4 men and 2 women were arrested Friday as part of the operation. Investigators say they also seized 2 firearms and 2 vehicles. Well, they got to have protection if you're going to carry that much cash and drugs. That just makes perfect sense to me.
Anybody else so glad that the World Cup isn't being held in that place where they had those loud horns? What were those horns called?
Which
Air
ones?
horns.
Air horns?
Air horns.
No. You blow into
they're
them.
called
They were
air
like
horns.
the whole time. They did it through the whole World Cup. That
The Alps, the Swiss Alps.
Was it Brazil?
That was the Ricola commercial.
Oh,
that they were playing
I'm way
during
off.
the broadcast.
Yeah. No, you're right.
I can think of.
The didgeridoos or whatever the hell they're called.
Oh, no, that's Australia.
What were those
the
things
didgeridoos
called?
with
I don't remember. They came in like different colors. Never mind. I just ruined it.
kazoos.
Yeah, that's what it is. A kazoo.
What's the horn called?
All of them.
It says party horn. That's it.
It's just party horn.
Yep, the party horn.
Oh, the ones with the little thing that twirls out.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, that's.
That was really annoying for the radio. Probably I did that right into the microphone.
Oh, that's funny. Okay, we'll move on.
Thank you.
Hey, here's an Indiana story. It's a real trump card for Indiana State Police. A crackdown on motorists possessing drugs resulted in more than 100 arrests and a seizure of a vast assortment of dope, including orange-colored ecstasy pills shaped like Donald Trump's head.
I gotta get stuff out of my purse before I drive through Indiana tonight.
State troopers involved in Operation Blue Anvil patrolled U.S. Highway 31 in Miami and Fulton counties over 3-day periods twice last month. According to state police statement, the troopers teamed with drug-detecting police dogs concentrated on drugs when they stopped motorists from June 19th to June 21st and again from June 26th to June 28th. The effort resulted in 129 criminal arrests, 272 drug-related charges. 48 of the charges were classified as felonies, according to the police. Troopers seized cocaine, heroin, LSD, methamphetamine, marijuana, psychedelic mushrooms, edible marijuana, prescription medication. Does that really need to be in there? Drug paraphernalia, as well as numerous drugs that have yet to be identified, which the police have stated are great.
Yeah,
just haven't identified them yet.
Yeah,
they're the best. Don't know what they are.
Yeah.
Wow, that
Can't wait
article
to
made
bust some
Indiana
more.
sound a lot more fun than it really is.
Yeah, they're bringing it. They're bringing all that stuff to Dayton.
Am
That's
I
what
just
they're
going?
doing.
Maybe I'm just going to the wrong parts of Indiana. I don't know.
Indiana's a bunch of just creators. You know what I mean? That's how
Yeah.
amazing we are out there.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah, you're creating new drugs that haven't been identified yet.
And
in
they're really
Indiana.
bad at 69s.
No, there's a comedian in
Interstate
Indianapolis.
69.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's totally what I...
Right, I got that.
Have you ever had a 69 that has ridden so rough as Interstate 69?
Probably.
And that's why she's my ex.
Yeah. She used a lot of tea. Yeah. Earmuffs, Antonio. Earmuffs.
Yep, we called her Nibbles.
Yeah. Wasn't Nibbles.
Mercy!
Chomp.
Chopper, that's what.
Yeah, oh. Ouch.
A bit unrelated to the drug story we were talking about before this. I saw on the news a couple days ago. I thought this was kind of funny. There was a news on Fox News, a story on Fox News. I don't know why. But some lady got arrested. They stopped her at a traffic stop, and they found 1.5 pounds of drugs in her purse. And her story was, quote, "They must have flown in the window."
Because I can't tell you the amount of times I've been driving.
Right.
And pounds of drugs will just fall into my car.
Right.
I mean,
happens all the time.
I've had bees fly in lots of times. It's not crazy to think.
Have you ever smoked one?
Yeah. Yeah. I was real weird when I was younger. Trying to get that honey high,
Yeah,
you know?
well, that's why they call you Danger.
Yeah, that's right. That little stinger right up your face.
Oh, yeah.
Got to roll a nice
It's a good
sting
rush,
to it, yeah.
Especially if you're just slightly allergic.
Yeah. Swells you right up.
Swells you up. Yeah, that lack of oxygen to your
that
cells.
EpiPen
man.
hit just really that adrenaline
That's
rush.
a party
hits
right
ya.
there.
Yeah.
You actually can get high on honey, but you cannot smoke it. You have to consume it. You have to drink it, basically, but it's like quite a few pounds. So
we need
That's
to party.
a lot, yeah.
We need to party.
At that point, you're diabetic. Though,
That was an episode of
You've researched
Futurama.
this stuff, haven't
Oh, yeah.
How to get high on
That was an episode. They had the giant bees or whatever.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
On what?
I remember
Futurama.
Oh, I do remember that. Yeah. There you go.
Did you finish the news?
No, we have plenty more news. There's all kinds of good news. Are you tired of playing? Is that
No.
I have a news article. This is a real thing. This is a real thing that happened.
Go ahead.
There's a woman trying to sue Universal Studios for fat shaming because they couldn't push the bar down her. She was like, "Well, that's fat shaming because you can't push the bar down, so I'm going to sue you." This is a real story.
She was on a ride.
She was on a roller coaster. They couldn't push the bar down on her, so she said that's fat shaming because they made her get off the ride. And so Universal Studios, this is what happened.
Don't make her get off the ride. Just tell her to hang on.
Yeah, just YOLO and just push her. Yeah. But what Universal Studios did, this is real, is Universal Studios was like, "Hey, don't sue us. Here's a bunch of vouchers. Go get all of the free food that you want." Which is just
that'll help.
The thing that caused all of this drama, right? Food. They were like, "Go get all of it. Go get all of the elephant ears you want."
That makes perfect sense because the next time she goes there, she won't be able to fit through the gate.
Right? Yeah, they're just keeping her out. Yeah.
It's like, if we make the turnstile just a little smaller, we'll keep her out.
Yeah, but I tried to do research on it because I wanted. It didn't say what ride it was, but I wanted it so bad to be the Jaws ride. Just because I imagine him like trying to push the bar down on this girl,
we're
right?
Gonna need a bigger
yeah, and he looks like, "Oh, we're gonna need a bigger boat." That would be just
fantastic.
classic, right?
Oh, yeah.
How is that fat shaming? Because the bar would be the one fat shaming her.
It's her, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. It's not.
Yeah.
It's because they want her. Or they want the whole park to make bigger rides.
Because they used to have signs that say you have to be this tall to ride this ride. That's short shaming.
Right. That's not size shaming. Yeah. It's just. But that's just how physics work, right?
Right.
You can't be
exactly,
this big.
yeah. Like
those carts are made.
Exactly.
To do certain things.
Well,
And
yeah,
if you're bigger than
there
that,
have
then
to be
it's
weight limits on those things because, for one, you have to be able to be pulled along the track.
Yeah.
And you have to
Chains
not
are only
bring
so
the
tight.
rest of the structure down when it goes through the loop. Because if that rest of that structure comes down, that's killing everybody.
Do you remember those little Hot Wheel tracks and stuff? You just like put the car on there and it go around the loop.
Right.
Remember when you
if
put like
there's
a
some
heavier
big
car
fat
on there?
lady on there,
And the
it
loop
would
would
never
flail
go.
wildly.
Or when you put like one of your big monster trucks on there and it goes
Yes.
down and it
Right.
bends the whole track out.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
I don't want other people dying because you wanted to pig out a McDonald's that day and then go ride a ride.
I'd say it wasn't just that day.
I mean, that day probably didn't help.
Okay, now this is fat shaming.
What is? Oh, what we're doing right
Oh,
now?
yeah.
Oh, yeah. No,
and
yeah,
I'm
it
totally
is.
good with that.
I'm fat.
Exactly. That's
You know what I mean? Like, I can say that stuff
Yeah.
because I'm fat.
Right.
I don't know why I said it like that. I'm not gay.
Because I'm fat.
Fabulous.
Let's see what else we got. We got time for one more news story.
Do it.
Make it a good one.
I'm trying to find a good one. I'm going to try to find a good one in here. No, that's too stupid.
Oh, wait. I like stupid.
Is it stupid? How stupid is it?
It's not.
Let's do a stupid one, and then we'll do a
Missouri rancher. Didn't we just have a rancher? Was it
Yeah.
a Missouri rancher
that
that
was
we
an
had,
Indiana
or
rancher,
that was an Indiana rancher? We just did an Indiana story.
It was an Idaho
But we had
rancher.
the Idaho. Well, that's Missouri. That's like Missouri Mark II.
Idaho and Missouri? Yeah.
Yeah, same.
I didn't even know they touched, but yeah, all right.
Totally.
We need to get you a map.
If you saw either one of them, you'd know why they don't touch. You're talking about the ranchers, right?
Yeah.
A Missouri rancher concerned about coyotes and cattle rustlers said cattle rustlers, is that still a thing these days? I can understand that. Said he turned to an unconventional watchdog to protect his herd, a llama named Tony.
Heck yeah.
Sam Hayes said Tony Llama, which is actually the name. Not just Tony the Llama.
Tony Llama.
Sam Hayes says that Tony Llama has been protecting his herd of cattle so faithfully.
Sounds like something you get. I can't come to work today. I have Tony Llama real bad.
that one time he had to personally distract the animal to keep it from trying to drive away utility crews working on power lines. Family members said they have taken to carrying sticks when approaching the herd in case Tony mistakes them for unwelcome rustlers.
Tony
I guess they have a big.
Serious,
he
right?
does, yeah.
Jeez.
Family member Kyle Hayes says, "quote He'll kind of like puff up his chest." And then if he really wants to attack you, he'll stand up on his hind legs. And he's about 8 or 9 feet tall whenever he does that. It's really intimidating. So, yes, intimidating Tony Llama.
Llamas spit.
Yes.
All right.
They do.
This is her only input. She's like, I'm just going to play the ukulele.
Yeah,
Llama spit, by the way.
Interestingly enough.
That is the name of our episode.
Llama spit?
Llama spit.
Perfect.
Interestingly enough.
They never swallow.
That's why I don't like them.
Anyway, interestingly enough, in the Dominican Republic, they don't have very many llamas, but one of their big supermarkets, kind of like
so
Walmart
the cattle
here.
rustlers are running wild.
Oh yeah.
They don't know what to do with all their cattle.
Yeah, they're rustling for other rustlers at this point. They just need a llama.
It's just a dude out there standing.
Oh, yeah.
Spitting on people coming up.
My name's Tony.
Tony Llama.
I'm Tony Human. Yeah.
But yeah, they have a whole supermarket system named after llamas. They've got Super Llama, Plaza Llama, Electro Llama, and it's just all, and they're just named after llamas. And I don't know why.
Big Monty Python fans.
Basically.
Yep.
Could be. I don't know.
Yeah.
Let's do the stupid one.
I thought that was the stupid one.
That wasn't the stupid one. A woman feeding sharks from a friend's yacht off the Australian coast was pulled into the water when one of the predators grabbed her by the finger. Melissa Bruning of 34 of Perth was being filmed by a friend while she hand-fed the tawny nurse sharks at the back of the boat. Off Western Australia's Kimberley region when one of the predators latched on her finger and pulled her into the water. I kind of love her quote. I think the shark was in shock as much as I was.
Doubt it.
Doubt it. The only way I can describe it is the immense pressure, and it felt like it was shredding it off the bone. That's probably not what the shark was thinking. The pressure, I can't take it. I'm a predator. It's what I do.
It's the most white person story I've ever heard in my life.
She told the Western Australian, I came up and I was like, I've lost my finger. My finger's gone. Sounds like she was real calm about that.
You should have seen how she was holding the fish.
My finger's gone.
Yeah, right. You should have seen how she was holding the fish. It wasn't like, when you put like a sugar cube on your hand. It wasn't like that for like a horse, and
right.
You hold it like this, the horse is going to chomp your fingers.
Right.
Yeah, she was holding the fish with her fingers like that, and just like put it in the water.
Well, if she'd have just set it on there, she would have lost her hand.
Or just details.
Horse rules don't apply to a shark. If they do, if horse rules start to apply to sharks, I'm saddling.
Or you know what you should do? Just throw the fish at the shark.
There's some for the Idaho rancher.
Good call that.
Set up a sidecar for a shark.
They need side boats for the.
We are out of time, man. That's terrible.
Let's do another hour.
We didn't even mention you guys were going to be at Wiley's this weekend.
Oh yeah,
we should do that real fast.
Yeah, hey, these guys are going to be at Wiley's this weekend.
Friday night,
Charley Hester,
Saturday night,
and Ray Dangerous Hensley.
I think tickets are free, right?
No,
absolutely not. You have to pay for one now, actually.
That serves him right. He has that coming.
That's what I get for making a terrible joke like that.
Yeah,
No,
yeah,
Friday
that's your
at
punishment.
8, and then Saturday at 7:15 and 9:30.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Come have fun with us.
Yeah, you can get out and
Charley has a lot of dirty
to
songs.
Charley's
and they're
dirty
great.
songs
Yes.
and Ray's dirty jokes.
I get
And
to
also,
I get to be like, hey guys, I'm not. Please stop.
Yeah.
and if you bring an open box of pads and tampons with you to donate to the Great Girl Drive, I will give you a sticker that says, "Today I helped a in need."
We can say vaginas.
We can say
We
vagina.
that.
Okay. Yeah. So
We
It's
just
a
can't-
medical term.
you get
can't
a
say it
super
as
awesome
slang
sticker
words,
that says, "Today I helped a vagina in need."
You know, and
I
unless
helped a Tony
you're
Llama
like
in
talking
need.
about somebody.
No,
and you call them a
then
vagina,
I would
you
use
probably
I would
can't
use
do
the
that.
C word if I was
Right,
going to
that's
talk about somebody. So.
Perfect. That's
Yeah.
What's the
probably
C
not
word?
on air, but
Charley.
yeah,
There it is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there you go.
You're being such a Charley today.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, Charlie's. All right. It's been so much fun having you guys on the show. We
had a
should
blast.
definitely do this again.
I would love to.
do it
Maybe
tomorrow.
You too, Antonio. Thanks for. What did you learn today? Nothing at all. Okay.
I want to get Antonio drunk one night and do this radio
probably
show.
in
wait a little
4
longer.
year, five
Yeah,
5
5
years.
years.
Yeah.
So 4 years. something
He's
like
in
that.
college, right? You're going to be in college? You going here?
Maybe.
Oh,
Maybe?
you'll need
Yeah.
to be drunk. On that note,
I hope your mom's not listening. She's like, I don't like
She
that.
is, and she's like, I was going to send this to his
Yeah.
grandmother, and now I can't.
yeah,
No, luckily we are out of radio range. So.
yeah. Oh, they can get it online. Well,
We're
probably not your grandmother.
kind
Old
of out of
folks aren't
internet
good with
range, too.
computers.
He's going to be like playing it for him. As soon as it gets to the last 5 minutes, he's like, nope.
Yep.
And
Yep,
We need a
and
panic
you're done
button
with
on
this
my
part,
phone.
As soon
man.
as you hear sharks and sidecars, just turn it off.
Yep.
Yep, that's the safe word.
That's where the episode ends, Mom.
We started off talking about you two going at it with him watching it. So I mean,
No,
You started off talking about
details.
yeah.
But
I was over here being respectful and delightful the whole show, right?
Yeah.
keep having
Absolutely.
headphone
So you can
problems. Just
suck
keep
it.
unplugging them on your grandma.
it was so good you were delightful because he was terrible.
I know.
Oh yeah, he always.
Unfortunately,
Let's not
my-
bring
my
him back
grandmother
next
isn't
time.
a headphone person; she's a speakerphone person. So,
Oh, okay.
Yeah. As soon as she calls somebody, the whole house has to hear it, and her neighbors.
Awesome.
All right.
Oh, yeah.
We just got you on the air picking on your grandmother. How do you? All right, we're going to get off here before he says something he really can't take back. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you guys
Bye-bye.
next week. This has been the Life Radio Show on WWSU 106.9 with your host, Don Smith. The Life is also available in podcast form on iTunes, PodBean, Stitcher, Spreaker, Blueberry, and YouTube, as well as on Eventide Entertainment's podcast network. Be sure to like the Life Radio Show on Facebook, and if you have any comments or suggestions, email thelife1069@gmail.com. Thanks for listening. Now get out there and enjoy some live comedy this week. You can check out wileyscomedy.com for all your upcoming shows.
The brutal presence overwhelms me. The brutal presence overwhelms me.